It's okay, start all over.
No, I cut this out.
Oh, well, you called them barrels again. They're bales. It's okay, bales.
Quit talking to me like that.
You quit looking at me like that.
Sure. You gonna come sit with me? Come on. It's right here. Right here. Come on. Lay down. Gather around. I have a story to tell. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, the farmer took Farm Mama to supply of the tractor. When she went in, she felt like she didn't belong. But then she saw a tower of books. This caught her attention, so she went and looked. She picked one up. This book right here. The only thing that she saw at first was the word gardens. She always wanted to build a garden. And to her surprise, she saw something magnificent, something that inspired her. She thought it was only one small part of this gardening book, so she bought it. And when she got home, to her amazement, the entire book was about straw bale gardens. She had no idea. She read the book from cover to end, fascinated with everything it had to offer. To embark on this journey, she needed one important thing, a straw bale. It was a long, hard journey. They were so rare. In her part of the world, the only abundant thing that even compared was hay bales. Yes, there's a difference. All right, so let's get realistic. I had no idea. A straw bale garden? Never heard of it. Y'all know I don't have a green thumb. I'm a little intimidated by dirt. Of course, I'm scared everything's gonna die, but do I wanna pay $500, $400 at the grocery store for fresh produce when I can attempt to learn how to do it myself in an easy way? This technique is supposed to be foul-proof. That's what I need, foul-proof. Look at this example and tell me that y'all don't think this is cool. There's even a chart that compares it to traditional gardening. Let's read the benefits about straw bale gardening. 75% less labor, raised height for easy planting, prevents disease issues, prevents insect issues, can be located anywhere, no heavy work tilling, eliminates soil-borne disease. Raised beds only in the first year are 75% labor, no weeding, predictable performance, and eliminate soil-borne disease. Now it also says straw bale gardening in 4 steps. Sounds like a winner to me. Let's go over some need to knows. Straw. Hay. Straw is golden. It's mainly used for livestock bedding. Absorbs moisture. No nutritional value. Hay is baled grass, whatever's native to the area you live in. So it's green. It's mainly used for food. To get started, you'll need to know a couple things. I've already read the book, so let me do the hard work for you. It's recommended to get 5 bales per family member. I have 4 members. 4 times 5 is 20. Stop it, stop it. You're gonna need at least 4 feet between each bale. No more than 2 side by side. The cut side needs to be up, the folded side needs to be down. You're gonna wanna place them up and down, not side to side. It's best to use a fertilizer with no herbicide. Wherever you place them, they're gonna need full sun exposure for at least 6 to 8 hours, because if you water in the morning, you want them to be able to dry off before the end of the day. You don't want wet leaves. You need to place them away from buildings or fences for airflow. Slopes are fine. It actually helps with the water flow. You're gonna need to get some landscape fabric if you're placing them directly on the ground. You don't want weeds to come up through your bales. The only thing you probably don't want to set them on is wood. And if it is wood, wood pallets are fine. Because you don't want the wood to rot, they are gonna constantly need to be watered. You can put them on asphalt, on pallets, in a tub in your front yard, in a shopping cart. Get decorative with it. Get creative with it. You can plant things on top and on the sides, so if you don't like the way it looks, plant flowers on the side of your bales. Here's some inspiration. The magic behind straw bale gardening is fertilizer. You're basically going to be turning this into compost. I did have to learn a couple things about fertilizer, such as NPK, N being nitrogen, P being phosphorus, K being potassium. And there's 2 types of fertilizers that you can choose from, conventional, organic. I'm gonna go the organic route, but I will explain conventional and organic just in case you choose to go conventional, which is okay. It needs to be at least 20% nitrogen. Don't get the kind that says slow release. For organic, you're gonna need 5% nitrogen, 50-50 potassium, and bone or fish meal, which is phosphorus. A good example of potassium would be wood ash. The next process is gonna be called cooking or conditioning. The process is gonna take 10 to 12 days for conventional, possibly a little longer for organic. It needs to be composted enough that the bacteria is activated and has began to digest the straw, making nitrogen and other ingredients available. All right, guys, this is day 1 for me. Every day, I'm going to create a clip like a chapter book so we can do this together. It's supposed to be easy. I want to show every step of the way how it's turning out for me so that you can see if it's beneficial for you and your family. I don't exactly know how long this method has been around, but I'm so excited that I accidentally came across it. Big shout out to Joel Karsten, the author of this book, Straw Bale Gardens. In my last video, I put together my seedlings and started them because I knew that this process was gonna last 2 weeks to condition my bales. So I wanted to give them a head start so that by the time my bales are done, they can be transplanted. Just in case you missed it, I'll start off by saying it still needs a lot of work, but hopefully by the time everything's growing and coming along, my garden will look exactly how it does in my brain right now. All right, guys, here it is. Now for my bales to be going north to south, that means I have to go this way to that way. I had to measure each bale and measure my garden so that I could plan how each bale was going to be placed. I do have kind of a slope. It's not such a dramatic slope that it would affect the water flow of my bales. I can utilize 18 bales and then I have 2 extra. It's gonna be a C-shaped straw bale garden. Now the middle part here, for now, I'm going to cover with a tarp so that all of this can die. Also, I am going to have to put down landscape fabric underneath where my bales are going to be placed. Weeds are coming up from the cracks in these stones. My vision is that once my straw bales are placed here and they're growing magnificently, my plan for the middle part is to place a bench and throw out wildflower seeds just to be able to have a pretty place to sit. Landscape fabric, tarp, my first box of Bale Buster 5. So Straw Bale Gardens has a website, a Facebook page, a book. On their website, they offer fertilizer for traditional or organic. I just went ahead and made things easier on me and ordered from their website the organic fertilizer. It's called Bale Buster 5. Bale Buster 20 is the traditional fertilizer. I did email them just to make sure that I was doing everything correctly, and they suggested that I buy 1 box for every 5 bales. So I bought 4 boxes. Once I condition them, they'll be set for the entire growing season. By the time the next season comes around, they're gonna be so composted that I'll just be able to plant directly into them. I actually hear they do better the second year than the first year because they are so composted by then. You can reuse them. It's not a once-a-time thing. For potatoes, I did decide to use one bale for them. When they're ready to be harvested, all I have to do is rip open this bale and retrieve clean potatoes. You don't have to worry about dirt. It doesn't recommend that you plant corn in these, probably because they get so tall and the roots get deep, so it's just not recommended. I think other than my wildflowers being in the middle, I'm gonna also plant the corn in a certain spot because corn is very important to my family. It's not very nutritious, but it's my son's favorite food. I'm fixing to get started laying these out, and when I say me, I mean the farmer. Okay, I'll help him a little bit, but he's my muscle. Before we do that, just in case it's a question for you, because it was for me, when you place these bales, the strings need to be on the sides. This is the cut side. You can see how it looks like something ripped through it. That's the cut side. If you look really closely, all these little holes. Now the other side is the fold side. See how it doesn't look like the other one? Most of these are folded over like that. Come here, mama. You're a lady dog. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. Looks like a big hot mess, but this is that landscape fabric I was talking about. That's the perimeter that we're gonna do, and then I'm covering up the center with a tarp. This is all my straw bales. Here comes the muscle. Okay.
I feel like a slave.
Grab one bale. We got 7 barrels along the back, 5 on the side with 1 on the corners. Everything's set up, and like I said, I have the...
It's okay, start all over.
No, I cut this out.
Oh, well, you called them barrels again. They're bales. It's okay. Bales.
Quit talking to me like that.
You quit looking at me like that.
Here's what it looks like so far. 7 bales along the back, 5 on each side, and then 1 on the corners. Now all that's left to do is condition it. I'm gonna demonstrate 1 bale, and then you'll kind of get the idea. You just have to simply repeat. I made sure that all my bales are cut side up. That's important. I went with organic. I did order online, www.strawbalegardens.com. I ordered the organic fertilizer. The directions are, for every bale, use 2 cups of fertilizer. I made a mark on this container for 2 cups. If you go on their website and you order the Bale Buster 20, that's the traditional fertilizer. That one, you're only gonna need a half a cup of fertilizer per bale. Okay, I got 2 cups. Let's get started. Day 1, 1 gallon of water per bale. It is recommended also to use something that's going to evenly distribute your water. hard. I believe in you. You can do it. Do it with me, one day at a time. All you need today, set it up, make sure you got everything you need. Bales, fertilizer, water. They also say what's recommended is instead of cold water straight out of your water hose, to fill up some buckets of water so that it's room temperature. The idea behind fertilizing these bales is that they're gonna warm up and they're gonna start to decompose. Tomorrow we have different directions, so I'm just gonna finish up day one. You got my whole body, like, can you back up a little bit? You don't gotta be in my face force like that. Okay. I wanna give a big shout out to Wellful Cattle Company in Giddings, Texas. Roger and Joshua Wellful were the only farm near me where I could find these organic bales at a great cost. I'm East Texas. It was a 2-hour drive, but well worth it, and they were extremely accommodating. Thank you, Wellful Cattle Co., for making this possible. I just finished watering all these bales, 1 gallon per bale. I think I'm gonna wrap up this video because it's a lot of content. I'll do a quick summary of the days coming up in my next video because they're not as complicated as day one. Farm Mama, out.